Welcome to Hollywood 97. I'm your host, X-Man.
Fan of Magic.
Rand Proxy?
Reaper? Ham
And,
Reaper?
and we have a pretty funny movie today this week. It's God Bless America from 2012. So
Yep.
what's you guys take on it?
Very how should I say, like, very interesting in a way, like, because at first it makes you think like it's not gonna be a comedy. Like at first I was like, oh, this is gonna be like a really dark film, isn't it? And while it's kind of like a, even though it is dark, it's like a more like a dark comedy type of film, which I haven't seen in a long time actually. So it was kind of refreshing.
I agree with you in a way because I haven't seen this movie since it came out since I was
Yeah,
in high
this is my
school.
first time ever seeing it, so that's another thing.
Like I forgot how kind of more subdued it is as a comedy. Like it's not
Hmm.
burst out loud comedy. It
Yeah.
actually has a like quiet moments in it.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I totally forgot that this was not like in the line of like The Hangover. It was more like in a line of like Louis. It was Louis C.K.
Hmm.
It kinda also reminds me a bit of, just to throw out some film names, something like a Scream or a Zombieland or,
Right.
Fight Club type thing.
That's what I was thinking too with Fight Club because it reminds me a lot about Fight Club and what the American Beauty and Office Space where you just have where the protagonists have like this normal life that they hate and they just want to do something so crazy.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But like also like the character himself is like kind of in like a like sort of like a relatable situation. Like basically like he hates just people in general because like people are just so, a lot of people like at least from his experience have just been like terrible.
Mm.
And honestly, like yeah, when you see like terrible people, like because it's kind of a relatable because like we're all from New York
Mhm.
and we've seen some crappy people in our lives and like,
Yeah.
and in general like in your lifetime you're gonna see some, well, like yeah, you're gonna see like some like crappy like stuff going on, like crappy people and whatnot. So it's like people who just don't like like consider like their surroundings whatsoever. They only like kind of just care about themselves.
Yeah, actually, I
Um,
wanna, oh, are you done? Or
no, yeah,
oh,
I'm
go
done.
ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I just want to say because I do security personally. Yeah, I'm always surrounded by it. Not just people watching when guests are in the stadium, but just other guards in general are also just shitty people too.
Mm.
So yeah, it's just no, you're always gonna be surrounded by shitty people no matter where you go. Especially in the workplace though. That's another thing, especially in the workplace and
I
yeah.
think because the guy who wrote and directed Bob Goldways, who is who's really famous for his political humor, and
Mhm.
I feel like he was kind of taking it to I feel like he wrote pretty much his feelings into the movie, which I kind
Hmm.
of have a little problem with, but I'll get to that later.
Mm.
Yeah.
But like one of my favorite actors, like this film in a way actually takes you back to like the like I guess like I don't know if I should say like the last era of like the TV era, but like
Yeah.
in my perspective, it's like the last era of like people really watching or caring about TV. Because like right now, like it's all about streaming
Yeah.
and it's all about just like like YouTube and like internet celebrities at this point
Yeah.
for the most part. Because like
I mean, this was also, it was just garbage, it was trash. It was like TikTok, but, just regular TV with ads and all that other stuff.
yeah, no, like I
Yeah.
remember, 'cause I recognize pretty much all the shows that they were parodying. Like they're
Yeah.
parodying American
My
Idol.
sweet, my
They're
super sweet
parodying
16.
TMZ. Like that, the TMZ one was probably my favorite one. I thought
Oh
that actually
yeah.
gave me. I was like, oh my god, I remember
Mm,
TMZ. That sh- that channel was that show was ass. Like,
mm,
oh man.
Actually, that's the thing. It got that. That's why I feel like it's like because I haven't seen it in a long time. it got that. That's why it got that topical humor that's pretty outdated in like that post September 11th era, where like when 9/11 happened, people were empathetic to each other, but like right after, like we're all like just not caring for each other and stuff like that.
Yeah,
That's just
but
kind.
yeah, like it's a little bit outdated in many ways, but like it was kind of like just nostalgic seeing it because like I feel like if I saw this movie like back in the day, like back when it came out in 2012, I feel like I would have like probably like really sympathized with a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Mainly
Same.
just because like back then like these like TV shows were like super relevant. Like I don't think like I'm pretty sure like is TMZ like
TMZ's still around.
hmm?
Still around.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's
it's
still
still
there.
around.
Okay.
They just broke the Kim Kardashian Kanye West divorce just like yesterday.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, they just broke that. It's
Mhm.
still around.
Okay, it's still around, but yeah, it's like it's not as relevant anymore though, because like I remember like back in high school, like literally after school, like TMZ was always on TV, like literally like my mom didn't know what to put on TV, so she would just put on like TMZ or whatever.
Well, I mean, like the 24-hour celebrity gossip thing, that's still now. Like just recently, we just had the Britney Spears documentary
Yeah,
on
mm,
FX, which what took me back. But
mhm.
it was that was just like it's still pretty relevant to today.
yeah. I mean, I'm trying to say, I guess, like, because I don't think like celebrity gossip will ever like really go away.
No,
But what I'm trying to say is like nowadays, like you can if you don't care about that stuff, you can channel it out much easier because you're no longer if you want entertainment, you're no longer kind of like just forced to TV anymore. You like just because streaming is so popular, you can you can kind of just watch whatever you want nowadays. Like you have the luxury because back then you didn't have that luxury. Like if
right?
like you it was if you wanted to watch a certain thing, you have to wait for a specific date or a specific time for it. Now with like Netflix and like Hulu and HBO, like it's like you could just like watch whatever you want whenever you want. At least that's my perspective.
Yeah, I agree with you for sure. No, it's cable TV is dying, dude.
Yeah, like
Uh,
like you no longer
yeah.
have to
No, go
like
ahead.
for me like I don't watch TV at all anymore. Like I actually don't like my parents. We actually got rid of our cable box completely because
Yeah, I
there's
mean,
no
I
point.
think
Like because
cable cutting is
no
the
one
trend.
no one's watching cable and no one's watching like TV and like the only thing my parents watch is like the news and like whatever like sports thing is going on. But like other than that, they don't watch any TV. And I like so basically like we have YouTube TV, which is like basically like a much cheaper version of cable, I guess, because like it's only like $30 a month, I think.
What I do really like, I mean, what it is existing now versus in the film, like
Mhm.
there are so many streaming, there are tens of streaming services. We are in an age where there's still tens. In the future, there'll probably be hundreds, if not thousands.
Right.
And I think the main reason why the main character wanted to put a bullet in his head was because he didn't really have a choice of what streaming service he wanted to pay for and content that he wanted. The only thing he was getting was just kind of like toxic stuff on television and
Yeah.
conservative news, and he didn't want to live in that world.
Mhm.
Right.
Mhm.
Like and yeah, and it's interesting. I literally lost my train of thought, but yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, like I remember like that dark kind of like that dark age of television where
Yeah.
just about everything on TV was just garbage. Like literally, it was all like like, again shit like TMZ, um, and also
My
like that
super,
show about like the spoiled rich kid or
yeah,
something.
my super sweet 16, which was my
Yeah,
which was my show back in the day.
no, I
It
remember
was
seeing stuff
that.
like that. It's just like
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's funny, like it's entertaining. Like I will admit, it is entertaining, but it's just like at the same time, it's still like in the end, it's just we're literally just it's just not very it's just not good entertainment. It's just like we're just watching practically garbage. in many
I feel I think I think you could do like, even though spoiler, you can't really do a sequel for this film. I feel like you could do a sequel for this film during like this social climate, this political social climate right now,
Yeah.
Yeah, like
like what they did with the Borat too.
yeah,
Hmm.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that was really good.
Yeah,
I think that
Yeah.
would be
like
interesting actually.
like if I really have to think of a problem with this film, I think I know you guys know how I feel about Joker, the film Joker,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
I feel like with this type of conversation Bob Goldthwait is having with the movie, I think some of it, the message, some of it was pretty hollow. Like half the stuff, like I feel like half the dialogue felt like Bob Goldthwait was writing about it because he felt like he can't tell an offensive joke anymore. Like the movie was so devoid of a real message, it could have just kind of literally be about anything.
I mean, I mean, if I were to relate this to another film, and I think that's what all movies are. You can only really compare them to each other. So if we were to take Fight Club, I think
Mhm.
that one kind of had like a kind of anti-capitalist message to it. It's all about consumer culture. The guy's in the office. He's looking at the trash. What does he see in there? He sees all these name brands from Krispy Kreme to Pepsi, Domino's Pizza or whatever.
Right.
Um, and
And also toxic masculinity in Fight Club.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's the same kind of it's a different message for this one. This one is more so about content that people are consuming, how people no longer really talk or have conversations with each other, uh, and it's more about toxic culture in a sense.
Hmm.
So I think for the two films they differ. Uh, in their messages, but they have a similar tone and way of showing it. They show from like kind of like an average Joe, who's trapped in like the rat race kind of thing.
And the thing is also like it also got like that cynical type of South Park humor, which I feel like our culture kind of grew out of now. Like, yeah, go ahead.
That's just kind of like Phantom said, that's like not necessarily the problem that I have with this movie, but I feel like that's kind of what holds it back in a way from being able to. I still enjoyed it, don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
But being able to enjoy it to its best potential is the
Hmm.
fact that well, I'll let you continue what you were saying, but I was just kind of adding on to, yeah, our culture's kind of grown um out
Yeah.
of this sense of
yeah.
humor, and it's become it's a I'm just repeating what Phantom said, but it is a bit dated.
I literally just to track what you were saying, Ran. I literally had a conversation a few days ago with a comedian on Twitter, and they were like, we were talking about greatest cartoons, and people were asking them why don't you put South Park in there, and it's just like no, because it's kind of garbage. And I was telling her like, yeah, you're right because South Park kind of turned a whole generation of people into like little edge lords, and that cynical type of humor just doesn't really work anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah, because one of
Um.
those because one of them was me.
Yeah. Oh my God. In high, I guess I just gotta go back to high school. At one point, we would all like compare ourselves, or yeah, compare ourselves to South Park characters. Everyone called me Kenny for some reason, and I still don't know why to this day.
Yeah, right,
I
You're
think
more like a
what's
tweak, honestly. Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
You're more of a tweak.
I think
Yeah,
so
word,
too.
word.
I think for South Park, what's so great about it is, they take whatever side you're on. It doesn't matter, what belief you have. They will take it and they will corrupt it into something and over exaggerate it and turn it into something cartoony and ridiculous.
Hmm.
And that's what's great about it. Nothing is sacred. Everything can be made fun of. Because sometimes you're just a douche or a turd sandwich.
Yep.
That's what I always felt with the ethos of South Park's humor, that everything is fair game
Yep.
on South Park.
Yeah.
But there is a clear message to the absurdity, of the humor.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think God Bless America kind of works on that level. But my problem with God Bless America is that it's kind of just a little hollow in what it wants to say. Like a lot of it is real dialogue heavy. Like I feel like half the time writer director Bobcat Goldthwait is just like nudging me the whole time, being like, you get that, you got that. This is why I can't do another offensive joke. You got that?
Mm.
Hmm. Yeah.
I definitely think it would have a lot different reviews if if that movie came out in like this day and age.
Yeah, like if it came out two year ago, 2 years ago, even 3 years ago, honestly, 4 years ago even at this
Mhm.
point.
Like just some of the reference to modern culture in the movie was just really outdated. Like the Juno reference, I was just
Oh
Oh
like,
yeah,
yeah, the Juno reference.
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
I was
I
like,
was
that
like,
is just so
oh
dated.
right, Juno was a thing.
Nah, when
What do
I
you
heard that, I
no
was
longer?
Like yeah, that was like yeah weird. Like oh yeah, Juno. I mean that's a movie I also like. Didn't I haven't seen Juno, but like from what I hear, that's like another movie that just did not age well.
Now that movie's supposed to be like the voice of our generation, but it has not aged so well.
Yeah.
But I think another thing, but on a positive note, I want to say like the acting, Joe Murray's like acting was pretty good.
Oh, the acting I thought it was
Uh,
great, honestly.
Yeah, no, I like the acting.
Yeah,
Same.
and like so going like like the actual story, like one of the things that I actually thought was really interesting was like so the girl I forgot her name, but like the girl at the beginning like when she told like oh like she was like when she talked about her original like origin story like which was obviously fake.
Hmm.
I was like wait, she looks a bit too tidy for this, and it turns out oh she was faking it the whole time. I'm like oh that's actually smart because like I
mhm.
kind of had a feeling that she looked too like well dressed to be like from this like dumps from a freaking like trailer park. So it's like, oh, that actually makes sense now. She lied. She just
Yeah.
straight up lied.
I will say those two. One thing that I did really like about that about this movie, now that I think about it a little bit more, is that both characters are cut from the same cloth. They're just sick of a mundane life, really.
Hmm.
True that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
That
and
is.
I think that the things that anyone could relate to both of them, like people who take up two parking spaces when they only need one,
Right.
stuff like that. Like I just
Yeah,
thought it
no,
was
like
funny how they.
it's like stuff like that is no. That's why I said it's kind of relatable because like the stuff that makes us like the most angry sometimes is just like the smallest things, like just people being like douchebags. It's just like just people like being inconsiderate. Like oh, something got two parking spaces. That's like what the hell?
Yeah.
Talking
Right,
at
right,
Like,
right.
movie
it's not
theaters.
the biggest. It's not even like the worst thing a person could do, but it's just like it just pisses you off. It's like whoa, that's kind of douchey. Like
Yeah.
The thing is, I like the interaction between the two characters, the two main ones. Like, I don't, even though it's kind of hard to sympathize with them on the
hmm
fact that they're killing people, like, they do give them like a lot of heartwarming moments.
yeah, but like in a way, like I feel like in a way, like deep down, you kind of also like root for them because at the same time, the people they're killing are basically assholes, and it's like,
Yeah. Like, and another.
I mean, to the most pettiest degree.
yeah, no, it's petty.
Yeah.
Like what they're doing is petty. Like what they're doing is actually petty as hell,
Yeah.
and what they're doing is horrible too. Like they're basically horrible people. But at the same time, it's like,
Minor, they're doing horrific acts with minor justification.
yeah,
My.
no, like what they're doing is what so it's kind of similar to like what people say about It's Always Sunny. Like they do the things we wish we could do, or like we wish we had the guts to do sometimes.
Yeah, no,
I
like
yeah, go ahead.
another thing about this movie though, there were some points where I kind of thought it was wholesome in a very twisted way. I'm talking about the interaction between the two characters, Frank and what was her name? The chick that I guess I'll call her Juno since I can't think of a name for her right now.
Hmm.
But yeah, I was like, oh, this is actually kind of sweet in a really fucked up way. I don't know. I guess that's just the way I looked at it.
Yeah, no, I get that. Yeah, it's like it's really like messed up, but it's like also like, oh, that's kind of interesting. Like,
I also think with him, he had an interesting set of what is moral, what is immoral, like when they're in the, hotel or motel together, he's like, I'm not gonna, sleep in the same bed as a child. That's
yeah, like he
wrong.
still has. What's funny? Yeah, he's okay at killing people, but he still has his standards on like how he. Because I think it's in the end, like he's not a bad he's not well okay he's a bad person, but he's not like he doesn't want to be like pure scum basically.
You know that saying, it's like the road to hell is paved with good intentions. He's not a person who's like evil like the Joker. He's not gonna say, I'm gonna, kill that dog because it's gonna upset that family, and then I'm gonna go kill that family because it's gonna upset the community,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna go poison the drinking water. He's not out to do, things that are malicious and evil like that.
Yeah.
Although at the same time, as that saying goes, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. He thinks it's a good thing. If you just happen to, shoot anyone at the movie theater who is, disruptive and doesn't turn off their cell phone,
Oh
you
my
know,
god. Yeah.
obviously that's not a good thing to do. It he does have that, minor justification. It's a social norm you're supposed to follow. It's not something you're supposed to do,
I,
but
Okay.
yeah, I just need to rant about that for a minute. Fucking people that don't turn off their. I've seen this one too many goddamn times in the movie theater. Like seriously. First of all, stop talking, please. For the love of it. Look, I know that I'm loud in movie theaters, alright? But I'm loud because I'm excited for the movie. I cannot stand it when people are talking about shit that has nothing to do with the damn movie. Okay, I'm done.
That's
Mhm.
a rant right there. A rant.
Yeah.
Yeah,
literally
but
grinds my gears.
no, like
For,
that's the part
for
of the movie theater is the part that I probably related to the most because that's one of the things that pisses me off more than anything. Is when I hear a phone ringing in the movie theater and they don't even have the audacity to leave the movie theater to talk on the phone and they're just like, oh hello, oh yeah, da.
just for a little background contact, when we were putting this podcast together, we were gonna give Rand Proxy a little section for himself called Rand Rants, where he just rants.
Yeah.
You
And that's been Randall Rants.
know, right?
But
Randall, solely because of you, you're the reason why New Yorkers can't have guns. If New Yorkers had access to those things, especially you,
Oh, the
Can we
amount of
just
people
can
I'd
we
shoot in the head.
speaking of guns? Do you notice how much bullets they had in that movie?
yeah, no.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
yeah, there were some aspects to this film I think were very unrealistic. Like the fact that they killed so many people and like never got caught.
Well, I mean, I think that's the point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
no, I think
hold
it's the
on.
point to be unrealistic, but like, yeah, like the amount of like ammunition they have and like how good of like how amazing of a shooter Frank is. Like, I'm
Right?
like, God damn, this guy can shoot like from anywhere. It's like,
Keep in mind, these aren't like, people in the city. There aren't cameras everywhere. This is like, Walter White territory where, they're out in the middle of
Right.
nowhere. These are Midwesterners.
yeah,
You
but
know,
they also killed a guy at Central Park too. Like they killed.
And that was a
that's
question for me. I'm like, how do you manage to kill someone in Central Park in like open in like broad daylight?
Yeah,
that guy's like
broad
a
daylight. I
figurehead.
was like,
That was like Alex
I,
Jones. That was like Alex Jones.
I was actually laughing like that scene was like actually having me dying but just by the absurdity of it.
yeah, because
Right.
like,
Let-
wait, how do you get it? Like, And not to mention, like, it's not like she shot him left. Like, they shot him. They had a whole conversation with the guy that they're about to kill,
Yeah.
and then it's like in normal circumstances, like people would gather like almost immediately if they heard something like that.
Hmm.
I'm like,
I
that's
mean,
just
it's
so
Central Park.
unrealistic.
Yeah. Well, like again, it wasn't necessarily the action of him killing him. It's like, wait a minute, how do you kill someone in Central Park?
Right.
Like I just found it absolutely absurd, and I found it. I honestly found that absolutely hilarious.
If you walk
Right.
10 feet in Central Park, you're gonna run into a dog walker or someone playing like Pokemon Go. It's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
impossible to not walk 9.5 feet without running into someone.
Right. And so, what else? What I was gonna say? So I'm. So do you like if this movie? I was thinking if this movie would have been made today, I feel like the actor wouldn't be Joe Murray. I think it would be like Bill Burr. Like,
Yes. Yeah.
can you
Yes.
I'd
Yeah.
can
love
you
to
imagine
see that.
Bill Burr?
I want to see that now.
Like, can you? And Bill Burr is like the expert in in PC humor without having to like be like canceled. You know, in quotes cancel culture because like it's not a real thing. But like Bill Burr would have been if they made this now. Bill Burr would be like really perfect for it.
I think so. Yeah, Bill Burr would definitely be a great pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I completely agree. I would actually love to see a sequel. So I know earlier we were talking about a sequel to this movie. I want to see a sequel to this movie with Bill Burr as the main character.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, it's almost as if everything they saw on TV, they were kind of like doing cancel culture themselves. Only, they're going out and canceling it themselves.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Like it's all some aspects of this are almost like a middle finger to cancel culture too. When you think about it.
I mean, personally for me, because I don't really think cancel culture actually exists, but like I can kind of see where you're going with when they shot like that pundit guy in Central Park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alex Jones canceled.
Yeah.
Rush Limbaugh canceled.
Definitely canceled. But
But
yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
oh yeah, I mean, I remember that one scene. It's like they were both, they were like in a car and they were like they were like driving through like this bigoted rally for Southerners that were like gays are all sinners, that kind of stuff, and they were just like shooting at the entire crowd, and they capture the guy in the cowboy hat and like throw him off a cliff or something.
Yeah, kick-ass style.
Um, uh, you know, you still have people like that today that whether they're hating Mexicans or transgendered, there's still people that hate gays.
J.K.
Uh,
Rowling.
their entire countries still that do that. Um,
Right.
it definitely shows uh, both extremes that there are.
Right.
Yeah. Um I think that's everything I have to say. I don't have anything else to say about the movie. How about you guys?
Um, I think that's like
And
most of the things I wanted to say about the movie. Like again, I felt like like the unrealism was honestly probably part of the humor
Mhm.
that they were trying
yeah.
to like, push.
And I think one thing that kind of I guess was able to draw it out was it opens up with in the beginning like you have 6 months left to live.
Right. And
Oh,
then it
So
turns
yeah.
out
there are no repercussions to anything he does. 6
Yeah.
months, nothing's gonna happen after that.
Right.
Yeah. Exactly.
I feel like my last thing about it, I feel like Broad City, the TV show Broad City, and Girls with Lena Dunham. I feel like this was like an early middle finger to the growing millennial generation at the moment. Like I felt like that's what it was. That's what it was kind of going like. Though just hearing like the characters complain about everything.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But me, the film I guess this would be my last thing about it. The film overall, I feel like it is funny. It's
Mhm.
genuinely funny. I really liked it. It's not as funny as it thinks it is, but I think it was generally like a funny film for the time, and I was
Yeah.
surprised that
Yes.
No, I think it's still a good movie, even though
Yeah.
aspects of it are dated. I think it's still a good movie overall.
Yeah, like
I think I
if I had watched this back in 2011, 2012, 2013, I think I would have found this hilarious, honestly.
yeah, I think I would have found it a lot funnier when I was 15, 16
Yeah.
when it came
Mhm.
time it came out. But yeah, I think because of now our social political climate right now is so different than it was back in 2011.
Mhm.
Yeah, this
Now,
mhm.
by 2011, Donald Trump trying to run for president was just like, yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's unrealistic because if there were people like him, someone was gonna make an attempt on like Trump's life or whoever's.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I give the movie 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah,
I'd
I'd
say,
give it about a four
yeah,
and a
for
half.
me, like probably like a 4 out of 5.
Right.
4 out of 5.
I think I'm gonna
Yeah.
change mine to 4 out of 5. Yeah.
I,
All
I,
right. So that's all we want to say, guys.
I think so, yeah.
yeah,
Should I
It
give
was
the
like
that's all I
deep,
want to.
but
I was
also
just gonna
shallow.
um
Yeah,
all I was gonna say real quick is the reason I'm giving it a 4 is because as much as I enjoyed the movie and it was more the absurdity and the unrealism of it
Mhm.
that I really liked. And like Phantom said, there's a lot that you can relate to in this movie. Me personally, the scene in the movie theater. Oh, especially when he goes, "Thank you for thank you for turning off your cell phone."
Mm.
Yeah,
Definitely got a
that
big
was actually really funny, yeah.
yeah, that definitely got a big laugh out of me. But other than that, the movie like I think we can all agree that the movie's definitely dated, but it is still
Mhm.
it's definitely a good watch. It's still a good watch, especially if you have nothing better to do.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So should I give the marching orders?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
All right. All right, 97ers, like, follow, and subscribe. Hit the bell when it's well. We'll see you for the next pod. All right, see you later.
All right, see ya.
See you later, guys.